All right, so here's a quick video just to go over and the feedback on this project, right? So the first lesson was the intro, it was these first 5 slides. Again, that is a hyperlink to the calendar that shows you the pace at which you should be moving. So the first slide that you guys saw, right, it looked like this, and it looks like most people saw it, right? The second slide you saw looks like this, about Ahmaud Arbery, and it looks like most people saw it. Yeah. So I was just trying to get a sense there of how many of you had some schema, had some background information for these cases of white on black crime that have been occurring since the pandemic happened. Because our story, The Hate U Give, is about white on black crime. And so critical consciousness, we learned a little bit here, and this was where you were supposed to get the definition, right? What is critical consciousness and what is activism? I was looking to make sure that you understood those two concepts. So let's check out the answers that we got and see how well they did. All right. Activism is doing something or standing up to something to bring social change. Yep, that is exactly what activism is. That definition totally works. Consciousness is being aware of the wrong of society. Yep, that's exactly right. That's exactly how it is. And notice this student did it in 2 different boxes. That's the same student, right? That's really helpful because when you do 2 different entries, it's really easy to see one definition and then the other definition. This one, let's check it out. This is a different student. Critical consciousness gives us the capacity to analyze or notice our system can be different. Activism to achieve an end. Miss Ofra, the lawyer, is protecting, and that's an example of activism. Yes. And I love that this student included an example from the story, The Hate U Give. That's perfect. It wasn't required, but again, it just lets me know that you really understand this concept. All right, this one says critical consciousness is trying to understand the world. Yes, it's a little less solid than this one, which is about bringing up which is about being the wrongs of society, because consciousness, but it is about understanding the world, so that's fine. And activism is the use of direct actum to achieve an end. Yep, absolutely. This one is a little harder for me to follow because it wasn't written in a complete sentence, right? You're making me do some inferring work, and as the writer, you should have put in which term are you defining here, right? So learning to perceive political and economic contradictions. What is that? I mean, I get it. I think you mean critical consciousness. That's what the inference is, but it is a stronger answer when you spell it out and write the whole sentence, including the term that you're defining, right? And then this one, the policy or action of using vigorous campaigning. That is activism, absolutely. Again, I'd want to see activism is the policy or action, okay? This one is not so helpful right now. I'm not sure that this student got it, and I want you to make sure that you do. That kids can grow up in bad times, but it don't mean that in the future they won't be great. Now, there is a little bit of that element in some of the videos that I showed you. That is definitely in Angie Thomas's video, that idea. And for certain, that's why she chose Tupac, because he is the Rose Who Grew from Concrete author. And that metaphor is the metaphor for this idea. But that's not critical consciousness, and that's not activism. So if this was your response, or you wrote something similar to this, go back and revise it and have it be something more like this. And then carry on and do the next part of the lesson. Good job.